Well, I'm up here at Indian Motorcycles of Lafayette once again. Only this time I'm going to test ride a new motorcycle. They're saying it's the Bonneville, the Triumph Bonneville. Obviously, the bike's been around forever, longer than I have, so I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen one of these in a long, long time, so let's take a look at it and see what we think. You know, after all the years, it kind of looks exactly like I remembered it looking. That's pretty cool. That is definitely it's a blast from the past for sure. That is really cool. Anybody that's, you know, you're up around 40, 50, 60, you're going to remember the Bonneville. Very, very popular bike. You know, Evel Knievel rode the Triumph. Before he started jumping Harleys, he was jumping the Triumphs, and you know, a lot of people don't even realize that. They think he was on Harleys all the time, but he wasn't. He rode a lot of Triumphs, and so to me, that's kind of, it brings me back to those days, those early 70s, mid 70s of, if you knew somebody that rode a motorcycle, it was a good chance they were riding a Triumph Bonneville. Boy, that is a strange feel right there. So you're definitely sitting up. It's a nice tall seat height. If I think poor little Cindy, I don't even think she could touch tippy toe on something like this. But this is really nice. You know, and even though it sits so high, it's not like it's super top heavy or anything. All right, well, I feel like Peter Fonda and Dennis Hopper should be around here somewhere, sitting on a Bonneville like this. This is really cool. I'm looking forward to taking this out for a ride. I'm like a kid at Christmas right now. Pretty wild. Even the mirrors. I mean, I'm talking, this is so old school. It is so cool. It's exactly what I remember from when I was a kid. This is cool. All right, let's see if I can do this. Weekend warrior's dream right here, because you will have a blast on this thing on the back roads. Dave,
wasn't that fun?
Dude, I actually got to say thank you so much for letting me ride that.
You're welcome.
That was so much fun on this bike. This brings back every memory you ever had a ride in when you were younger. You know, again, I'm middle-aged. I still like to call myself middle-aged. It just reminded me of everything, except here's the difference. I'm not hurting after getting off it. I could look in the mirror at 65 miles an hour, 70 miles an hour. I could look in that mirror and everything was clear. Yep. I could actually see something back there instead of just blurs, you know what I mean? You know, I'm so used to the older bikes always shook so bad. The handling is just phenomenal. I would love to have this bike. What we need to do is another test ride on this bike. If you guys could trailer it down to the Smoky Mountains for me.
Okay.
And then we'll test ride it down there, because
right.
I'm telling you, this bike is built for the back roads and the twisty turns and stuff. Oh my gosh. I was laughing while I was riding. I was having so much fun. It's hard to put that big, mean biker scowl on your face when you're riding, you know, that tough look. You can't do it when you're doing this right here, man. I just wanted to wave to people like this. I was so happy. That is the most fun I've had on a bike in a long, long time.
The whole thing is just nothing but fun. I mean, obviously the whole long distance thing. I don't know that I'd try it, and that goes back to what we talked to earlier about just, you know, you and I each have kind of a long wheelbase, and I don't know how well that's going to work out for us. But just for, you know, knock around town, maybe a trip from Indianapolis, you know, run an hour or something. Right. It's a great bike. Now, I heard you talk a little bit earlier, too, about the differences, the mid-70s and things, and you know, the little flashback, bringing back some memories and things. I took the liberty of dipping into our Triumph showroom and pulling out a 1976 Bonneville, because we mentioned earlier about how these things just really haven't changed. I mean, technology-wise, yeah, they have. Yeah. I mean, this is 2016 technology and what amounts to a 1959 model motorcycle when they first debuted. Yeah. A little bit bigger motor on this one than there is on that one. That's a 750. This is the new T120. It sports a 1200cc engine in it. Most of the Bonnevilles you've seen over the course of the last 5 or 6 years run a 900cc motors.
Right.
This has got a little bit bigger. It's got a little bit more grunt to it. I'm sure you noticed some torque when you took off.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah. And it was a definite difference. But it's quite the departure from a road king too. So
it reminds me, it's very similar. The way you sit on it is very similar to be a more modern bike like the Buells. If you remember the Buells.
It is. It's much more
Buell
straight
Lightning.
up riding position.
I just remember the Lightning. You are up, but you are still putting a lot of that weight on your arms too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're leaning forward, but it's not a crotch rocket. You're still sitting up, but again, it's that and it has that same feel as the Buells do with the turning, the throttle response, all that kind of stuff. But dude, I'm telling you,
because of the little short wheelbase and all the 77 foot-pounds of torque in that motor, so you can, I mean, when you get around a corner, you can lean on it and it'll run.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
It was. You know, and I even made a comment while I was riding. If you've been riding your same bike, if you've been riding for years now, and maybe you're thinking, you know what, it's time to find something else to do or whatever, you kind of lost the luster of riding a motorcycle, get on one of these Triumph Bonnevilles, and I'm telling you, it'll reignite that spark inside of you. Because, dude, I felt like a kid riding this bike.
Yeah.
I felt like a kid again. And if you're not smiling, there's something wrong, because that was a lot of fun right there.